Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Sports Central. I'm Neil Duncan. We got a great show coming up. We got Jeanette, Wallace, and Marc Zimmerman here to talk about the Red Ribbon 5K. We have Dani Horton here to talk about the Hope to Survive Zombie Fest and 5K as well. Sorry, a lot of running events here, and Sherrie Grimes, the Shine a Light 5K. Stick around, everybody, for this week's edition of Sports Central. Everybody, welcome back to Sports Central. Neil Duncan alongside Chris Caprios. This first segment brought to us by The Ledger, and I kind of hammed up and messed up the opening there, but we got some great running events that we're going to talk about here on Sports Central.
It's Running Central today, and it is really every week in Polk County. There's always a 5K or some kind of run going on, but the first one we're going to talk about is actually a little bit more. It's probably, I think you said 5K at the beginning. It's probably like 4 or 5 5Ks. It's a half marathon.
Maybe I was referring to what I might actually be able to finish. I doubt it, but I certainly couldn't make a half marathon. But we got Jeanette, Wallace here and Marc Zimmerman to talk about the event. Welcome to Sports Central.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Us,
well, I called it a 5K. Let's go ahead and let people know what is a 5K and then what's a half marathon. What's the differences?
Okay, well, I guess to clear it up first, there is a 5K.
Oh, Sam's half marathon.
So you were right.
Yeah,
okay.
so there is a 5K, but there's also, the main event is the half marathon.
Okay.
But there's basically 3 events. The half marathon, the 5K, and then there's the kids runs, they run from in their age or in their grade level, and they run a 1K around Lake Mirror. So there's 3 different races. There's all kinds of different variety, something for everyone to get involved with. I guess for those who maybe don't know, a 5K is 3.1 miles, half marathon is 13.1, and then a 1K would be 0.62.
That's the one I'm looking for.
It's the kilometers that throws us off. Yeah, we don't use that in America.
Yes,
I guess.
but Neil's looking for the 1K.
I'm looking for
race.
Yeah.
You can handle that one? No. This is the second year, though, that the half marathon has taken place.
Correct.
So
Yep.
obviously successful last year if you're back again, right?
Yeah, it really is. So we added the 5K this year to increase some numbers as well as just the opportunity for more parents and community to get involved in a 5K or another race.
Who's putting this event on? And obviously you've seen the number of races grow in Polk County. Marc, I think you're the race director for this. And talk to us about how the sport has really evolved in Polk County, because the whole show today is about races, and that's a great thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, really races have grown in Polk County. Races have grown nationwide. The number of people running, there was a running boom back in the late 70s, early 80s, and it kind of leveled off for a while, and this is the second running boom. And it's a variety of reasons, obviously just health and wellness. Mm-hmm. People wanting to challenge themselves. I mean, getting out there, the challenge of completing a half marathon. It's not so much about racing as it is the accomplishment of just doing the event. And then a lot of people are getting involved. I guess later one of the zombie runs is going to be on. So a lot of people are getting involved in events like that, mud runs, color runs, zombie runs, the things that aren't so much about running as it is about having fun with a group of people. But I know Jeanette will probably talk more a little bit about the group that's putting on Red Ribbon.
Well, right.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Interact Alliance used to be the Drug Prevention Resource Center, but is putting on the Red Run series and the 5K Kids Run and Half Marathon. So it's just to bring awareness basically to the community, to share with them about healthy lifestyle and living and doing together things as a family to keep kids away from dangerous, risky behavior and activities. So it's really about the healthy lifestyle and embracing that as a community as well.
We talked about the success of the inaugural race last year, and one of the things that a lot of people I've heard talked about was the course, and what a great course it was, kind of unique. So talk a little bit about that, Marc, as the race director, what people can expect at the race. Yeah,
they can expect a tough course. This isn't going to be your fastest half marathon time. Lakeland, obviously we're in Florida, so they're Florida hills. Mm-hmm. But for everyone who lives here, it's a hilly course. Mm-hmm. So you start and finish at Lake Mirror. You go through downtown, you hit Lake Morton, you hit Lake Hollingsworth, then you kind of venture off down Cleveland Heights into the southern portion of Lakeland, and you kind of loop around, come back. and then you come back and kind of follow back up and finish there again at Lake Mirror. So you're hitting all 3 of those lakes twice, and it's really a lot of fun. I mean, it is challenging running up and down the hills. Most of the hills are in the beginning, but I heard from everybody that the hardest hill was literally the last one was on Massachusetts. It's in the last mile. You got to go back up a little hill. I think most people thought they were done with the hills at that point, and they hit that one.
Surprise.
So is it the size of the hill or the fact that
No,
it's the last one?
I think it's just the last one. Yeah, there are some Johnson Avenue right next to Florida Southern College. That actually, you go up and down Johnson.
Right.
You go one way, and then when you come back, you go the other way. And when you can come back is the bigger hill. So you do get to see some of the Frank Lloyd Wright architecture, but that to me is actually one of the biggest hills on the course. And but I think once everyone kind of got over that one, they thought maybe, oh, we're done with the hills, and then they hit one more. But we did some impressive times. The winner came through last year in 1 hour and 17 minutes. So he was flying.
That's running?
Yes. Yeah, he was definitely running. There's a local guy, Scott Mackley. I checked, he's already registered for this year, so defending champion will be back. I did not see the defending female champion registered for this year, so a chance that there may be a new female champion.
Wow. Wow. Well, we're talking about the Interact Alliance putting on the 2014 Red Ribbon Half Marathon and 5K and Kids Fun Run. There, I got them all right that time. What's the date?
November 8th.
Okay.
The first race starts at 7 a.m.
Okay.
That's early too. So not only
wait a minute, yeah.
Not only is it long. I mean, you were talking about the course, and I was thinking getting tired of just driving around that course, but just running. But
and you have to get up early too.
Yeah, that's tough.
What are your numbers looking like? How many did you have last year, and what are you projecting for this year? Either one of you.
Yeah, it was 733 total finishers last year. We're projecting about that same number for this year. Total across all 3 right now is 1,300 people registered. But a lot of people, I mean, the kids race will get up over 1,000, probably 2,000 kids running, and they run in their grade level. So they start off. The middle schools will start off first, and then they switch back to kindergarten. The kindergartners, girls, and then boys go, and then they just go work their way all the way up through all the elementary levels. And for them, for the elementary kids, and for the middle schoolers, and actually even for the high school, and I'll explain a little more, it's free. It's completely free race for them. So that's a great opportunity for them to get out and do something active, and it doesn't cost anything.
They just need to go to redribbonhalf.com to register.
Okay.
It's all online registration.
Okay.
And the race is November 8th. Is there a deadline to register? Can you register on site?
You can register on site, yes,
Okay.
but we'd like to get them registered online beforehand. But yeah, you can register on site.
Right, and the half marathoners get a great finish medal. Everyone gets a shirt. So by registering beforehand, that helps to get those numbers, get the right shirt size. You're not walking out in a shirt you're swimming in, or one that's way too small for you.
Well, obviously, this is an event. It's a win-win because you talked about a little bit what Interact Alliance does, and then the positive side of things, the healthy side of things, getting people out and active, and you're saying this is the second wave of running in the U.S. What are some things through the organizations, if somebody's tuning in and watching, and they want to know, hey, okay, maybe my kid spends too much time on the Xbox or the PlayStation, I'd like to get them into a running group or get them active. What are some of the things that the resources available here in Polk County?
Well, one would be the Lakeland Runners Club. We have a kids running program. Marc and I are both a part of that organization, and so we have some great directors that organize our kids running program, and 5 and up for the younger kids, and then we also have a middle school program Marc knows a lot about, but that they can start, and it's on Tuesday nights at 5:15 at the Lakeland High School track. The parents do need to stay there and be there with the kids, but we've had anywhere up to 90 kids at one point in time on a Tuesday night. So Grace Owen is in charge of that and does a great job with the kids, and she'll also be out there for the Red Ribbon Kids Race and facilitating that for us as well.
And that also is a free program. I mean, that you don't have to be a member of the Lakeland Runners Club. You can just anybody can show up. You just have to fill out a waiver, sign. Like Jeanette said, your parent has to stay with you, so it's not a drop-off program.
It's not babysitting.
It's not free babysitting for an hour, but it is a great way to get kids involved in running. And we've seen some kids that started out real young and have grown through the years and are really active runners now. And it's not about building champions. It's just about getting, like you're talking about, Neil, it's about getting kids active, getting them moving around. I mean, really, you want kids moving, ideally for an hour a day, but boy, if we could just get them moving for 20 minutes a day, that would make a big improvement.
Well, don't you think that's even more important, and I don't want to get too far off topic here, but there's been so much emphasis in education on testing and getting learned to certain things that isn't physical education getting squeezed out of that? So
you're talking a few days a week.
More important than ever.
Yeah, I mean, it's some of them certainly. It is hard to kind of work that in with all the
other requirements
that's being pushed down from the state or from the country, as far as what it might be. But certainly, yeah, we are getting way off topic. We could have a whole session.
Well, I don't want to get into that, but I'm saying this is an alternative to that.
Yes.
So if you don't feel like your child's getting enough in those
after
school days,
I mean, and that a lot of that even harkens back to middle schools used to be very active and have sports, and for a while there, middle schools completely cut sports, and that's really how local club groups evolved. How local football programs and soccer programs really started growing because there was no outlet for those middle school kids.
Right. One other thing I wanted to say about having the whole, like the 3 races, the kids and the 5K and the half marathon, it gives parents an opportunity to show their kids too about a healthy lifestyle, so they're actually doing running and they're exercising. They can get their kids involved too because K through 8 is free. But it gives them an opportunity to be a positive example and healthy lifestyle for their kids as well. So.
Well, we got to go to break, but one more time, Mark, give us the name, the 3 races, and the date, and how you can sign up.
November 8th, it's the Red Ribbon Run Series, really. It's half marathon, 5K, and then kids 1K. You can sign up at redribbonhalf.com. And really, and I'm going to throw out there real quick, if you're not ready to run yet, we would love for you to be on the course cheering. There's some great places. Neil and Chris, that might be more for you guys. At this point, I know Chris is very active.
Is there any running involved in the cheering? Like, do you need to run to our spot?
Can we bring a chair?
No, you can literally.
Okay, we're in.
Sit in a chair and just clap your hands. No, it is.
It'd be appreciated. Lakeland Highlands Road, really.
Yes, but the runners love for people to be out there cheering. Yeah. I mean, it's really, when they're struggling, they maybe hit a wall at that point. Having someone out there cheering them on really helps.
Right.
True.
Well, Mark and Jeanette, thank you so much for coming on. Good
luck
luck with the event, and we're looking forward to it. Another event that is coming up here in Polk County is Pioneer Days in Lake Wales. That's October 25th and 26th. We're going to look at some footage from last year's event while we go to break here. Check it out. Chris and Neil will be back right here on Sports Central.
Lake Wales, Florida, and we're working on our Pioneer Days. We've had about 20,000 people, they think, and this is the car parade, and this is our 37th year, and we're so happy that the weather allowed us to perform.
The hardwood of the softball meadow. We've trimmed it all down, made it into a blank. The last thing to do, these are actually little tubes that supply the nutrient to the plant. And right now what they're going to do is work it over a nail board, and this will remove what we call the pith from around those and expose those, and that's what gives us the bristle to make a brush. Of making a custom-made broom. The lady picked out the colors. And so we've attached a furl, it's called, this part of the broom on the handle. Here. And now she's selected this color that she wants on the outside.
as if we were weaving a basket.
And they become a big rug.
I'm building shaker-style wood boxes. Shakers came over to the United States in 1774 from England out of religious persecution in England. So these date back to 1798, and they made them up until early 1900s when the last shaker box makers passed away. It is shaker style. They kind of invented the fingering and the oval size of the box. It takes about 200 degrees water for about 15 to 20 minutes in order to make it pliable enough to bend. And they have a form that we take the box around, and when it's pliable, it'll bend right around there to an oval shape, which is basically what we have here, and that's what you end up with. We have what we call corks that we put in that wet wood, allowing it to dry.
Good time here. We've had the Lake Wales Highlander Band, we've had the Scottish group to play, and we've had a lot of people come and enjoy our different venues, and the pioneers of the year get to tell their stories.
Everybody, welcome back to Sports Central. Neil Duncan alongside Chris Caprios and Pioneer Days, a great event there.
It is. We always talk about the history and heritage aspect of what we promote tourism-wise here in Polk County, and Pioneer Days is definitely one of those great events, and several of them right within a short drive of where we are here today. So
yeah, absolutely.
Rich in history and heritage here in Polk County,
and not just
around the state.
Yeah, and great segue, sir. Visit Florida.
Done this before.
One of our great partners, and of course a partner with us at Sun and Fun. Without them, that event couldn't have happened over the last couple of years, but they're this segment sponsor. But you talk about Sun and Fun, and with the air traffic controllers and the situation that's happened over the last couple of years, Visit Florida really came up, and of course the Florida Restaurant and Lodging Association, and a lot of people at the state level, so we want to thank them, and we want to thank them for sponsoring this segment.
Yeah, they are great partners to always work with, but like you said, especially around Sun and Fun flying.
Another great event getting ready to happen here in Polk County, and we were talking about this is a running show. It's Running Central, not Sports Central. It's Running Central. But Dani Horton here, president of the Hope Equine Rescue, to talk to us about the Hope to Survive Zombie 5K. Now, it is a 5K, right?
Yes, it is a 5K. Yes, correct.
I kind of had part of that right earlier with the Red Ribbon Half Marathon, but I'm excited to talk about this event because, as we talked earlier, running has taken on many different shapes and sizes and themes, and it's all in an effort to get people out there getting active, but also you've got a great cause with this event.
Right, correct. This is one of our fundraisers for our nonprofit. We take in neglected, abused horses. We work mainly with law enforcement, so when they do a large seizure, we take these horses in and rehabilitate them and get them healthy again and find them new homes, which is extremely costly. So what we've had to do is we've kind of had to branch out and think outside of the box and come up with some, really innovative ways to raise funds to take care of these horses. And 5Ks are really good for that. It's good for the community. Everybody can do it. You don't have to own a horse or anything to do those kind of events, and it's something the whole family can enjoy.
Well, and really back, I guess, before we get into the actual event, back to the cause like you're talking about, I don't know, this is probably just me, but I'm thinking usually you think of people that own a horse are pretty, wealthy probably, but then, so where does the neglect and abuse come in?
Oh, well, the problem that we're having now, horses, the market has kind of fell out of the horse industry. Years ago, horses were extremely expensive to purchase. A really nice horse would cost you anywhere from $2,500 and up. Well, now that the market's kind of fell out, we have an abundance of horses, and most of these horses are free, and people don't understand that the actual upkeep of the horse is more expensive than the actual purchase of the horse. Just basic care and keeping your horse, just the basic stuff, nothing special. Your vet care and your feed and stuff like that runs around $2,500 a year just to maintain a horse. So we have a lot of people that are going out and they're getting these horses and they don't understand the financial responsibility, and then they get in and then they don't know what to do, and then the horse suffers because of that.
Or they run into financial hardship on their own, and then the horse.
That's the term. It's like feeding a horse, because it costs that much money.
And it's not like a dog. I mean, you can't put them in your apartment. We had the economy we know is not that great, and everybody was losing their houses and foreclosures, and there was nowhere for these horses to go. You can't take them into town.
Or put them in your backyard. In most cases, I
correct.
probably couldn't mind.
So this is obviously a problem. You put a horse in your
I
backyard.
probably not.
Well, I was going to ask if I could ride a horse in the event because I'm not going to run. But
I'm just hoping my daughter's not watching this, because you said free horses. I don't want to. But anyway,
we do have a volunteer program too, so she can come get her fixed that way.
She's only 5, not yet. But anyway, let's get back to the great cause and what it's for. The actual event. Are there going to be zombies there? It looks like you can dress up as one and run.
Yes, we're going to do the fun run is going to be you can dress up as a zombie, or you can be a human and try to survive, hope to survive the race. We'll be able to, if you're not real good at your makeup, we'll have people there that can do your makeup and everything for you for the zombies, and just hopefully you can make it through the course in one piece.
Wow.
So I read where, and correct me if I'm wrong, like you're releasing the humans first, and then releasing the zombies after that, and they're trying to catch the humans.
Yes, and then there will be
So you're literally running for your life.
Literally, yes, and there will be a few surprises there as well. So we have a few surprises that people aren't aware of.
So as far as, and is it a timed event, or so for people that are serious runners?
Right, we do have a timed, we did do a timed one as well. The first race is a timed event for the serious runners that would like to get their times, and then we will have the fun race afterwards. And you can do one or you can do both. Either if you want to do both of them, you're able to do that as well.
Okay. And the event is at Holloway Park on October 25th.
Yes.
And what time do the different races start, just to clarify?
The timed run starts at 4, and then the Hope to Survive run starts at 5:30.
Where the humans are released.
Humans, yes.
And then how far after that are the zombies released?
2 minutes afterwards.
You're not giving them much time to go. It's,
not very much.
We'd be dead in like 100 yards.
I'd already be stopping.
Are they actually going to start eating the people, or what are they? Is it like a scare type thing?
Is there anything you can tell us? Or no.
No, well, they will be.
I've seen Walking Dead. I know how this works. Okay.
They'll actually have flags on, and they'll be pulling the flags off.
So then, once they do that,
then they're zombies.
Okay. I see how. Okay. All right. Wow. It's coming together now. It sounds like a really,
and
really
Holloway
cool
Park
event.
is a great place to do this at, because it's all in the woods. So it's it's in the evening, so it'll be kind of twilight. So it'll be really
close to Halloween. Yeah.
And,
you got
and
it
this
all
is the first year you guys have done this event, correct?
The zombie, yes.
The zombie portion
correct.
of this.
Very
And
cool.
have you guys seen this type of race somewhere else, or was this somebody's idea?
Well, I have to kind of admit, most of our board of directors are Walking Dead fanatics.
Okay. I knew there was a connection.
Yeah, so we kind of, we thought of, we want to do something fun, and we've done a regular timed 5K earlier in the spring, and everybody's like, hey, it'd be really cool if we had a zombie run, and we were like, you know what, that would be something we would enjoy to put on. So.
Well, how do they sign up?
You can go to our website at hopeequinerescue.com, and there's the link on there to Active. We're listed on the Active website, and there's also the link to the registration form there as well.
And then they can register on site, but obviously you want to try to get as many people registered as prior.
We try to get as many pre-registrations as possible, so we know how many awards and that kind of thing to have, and also so they can make sure they have their shirts as well.
Oh, you get a shirt as well. Yeah. What is the cost for the race? Did you say that?
Yes, each race is $30, or you can do both of them combined at $45.
Very cool, and it obviously goes to a great cause in saving these horses.
Yeah, we've got the the 25th Holloway Park, and you can go to active.com or what was the other website?
Our website is hopeequinerescue.com.
Okay, to sign up for the event. But let's go. We were joking around, but let's go back to the actual cause, because obviously there's a need for this, and you talk about the funds for this event are going to stay in Polk County, going towards the horses that are neglected or abused in Polk County. Correct. And I'm assuming you probably you said you work with law enforcement.
Yes.
Do you see more of it on the county side because of the rural areas, or do we see some of this in the municipalities as well?
Well, yeah, Polk County is really rural, so we have a lot of it in Polk County, and we take in a lot of horses. We actually have in Polk County what we call an agricultural crime unit, and that's all they deal with is agricultural crimes, which include large animals. So what happens is if they have a neglect case, somebody reports it, they go out, they investigate, they do a full investigation, and then they will either they try to educate owners. We always try to educate first.
Right.
The county does as well, and they try to educate them first, and then if there is a problem, then they end up seizing them and they come to us. But it's very we've probably taken in over the last a couple years, we've probably taken 30 plus horses from the county alone.
Wow.
And that wasn't just, and it could have been a lot more if we had the resources to take in more. So we try to take in as many as we can, but we just can't take them all.
And obviously this is a fundraiser for you, but I'm sure do you accept donations throughout the year?
Absolutely.
As far as horse feed, things like that? Okay.
Yeah, and
where are you based at?
We're in Auburndale.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
right down the road.
Yeah, and like I said, basic cost to upkeep a horse is about $2,500 a year, but when they come to us, they require so much more because they are so neglected and emaciated and that kind of thing. So normally we spend about that much in the first 3 to 4 months when they come in.
Is there, and we may have answered this earlier, but just trying to make sure we cover all the bases. Are these horses then available for adoption?
Yes.
They're available for adoption, but how does somebody go through that process?
We have a pretty simple process. We don't want to make it too difficult, but we also want to make sure that the horses are safe and they don't end up in a situation like that again.
Back where they were.
Right, so we have a process that we go through. There's an application you fill out. It's pretty simple. Asks for basic information, your horse experience, that kind of thing. And then we will take that information and match you with a horse that fits your criteria and will work best for your situation. And then our adoption fees are relatively cheap. They're only $200, and it doesn't cover really anything. It's just enough to put back into the next horse that comes in. And then those horses go under contract. And if something ever happens, a good thing about this is if something ever happens and you get into a spot where you can't continue to take care of that horse or it doesn't work out, they can always come back to us.
Yeah, education is the key.
Right, yeah, education is a huge thing. So we really try to educate the community.
And it's hopeequinerescue.com. They can register for the race there, find out about donations, find out about adoption, or they can also register for the race on active.com.
Correct.
All right. Well, the event is October 25th at Holloway Park. Dani, we appreciate everything that you're doing, not only for this race, but for the horses and the animals that don't really have a voice themselves when they're put in that situation. So everybody check out that event. Another event that we have coming up on the 25th and 26th of October is the JUCO Classic. Again, footage from last year's event. Check it out. Chris and Neil will be back right here on Sports Central.
This weekend is high school players are here to be recruited by junior colleges or pros. There's somebody here for everybody. It's really exciting. There are 24 junior college baseball teams and 36 high school showcase teams here at the same place for the weekend. They are full games, but we play showcase rules. And by that I mean we play 3 outs or 6 hitters. It's 7 innings. The junior college teams only play 1 game, but they play a 12-inning game. The idea here is not to win the game, although everybody likes to win. Within the rules, the idea is to showcase every player so that his talents can be seen.
basically coming over, talking to the college coaches that are here, talking to them about my kids and about kids that I see, because everybody's always looking for talent. Bing does a great job as far as having this in conjunction with the JUCO and having everybody together, and the kids get the exposure. It's not like somebody just paying $400 or $500 to go to a showcase and try to get their kids seen. They come to this tournament, there's no doubt you're going to get exposure and get your kid in front of people who can make a difference in their life. Being a travel ball coach, the biggest thing you want to do is try to get your kids exposure. There's different tournaments, there's different events, showcases that go about, but I think this is one of the best tournaments and showcases that you can get your kids involved in, because every junior college from the state of Florida is going to be here, every four-year school, and then all the coaches from the Southeast come down because they want to see these JUCO kids perform and play in these all-star games, as well as with the high school showcase on the backside that goes in conjunction with this. So, you know, WABA, JUCO showcase weekend is always one that we always put on our calendar, and I try to get my kids here.
Everybody, welcome back to Sports Central. Neil Duncan alongside Chris Caprios, and this third segment is going to be brought to us by Hungry Howie's, great partner of tourism and sports marketing. But speaking of great partners, Bing Tyus, Polk State College, and we'll talk about a little more on the local update, but the World Shoot opening ceremonies, which were held at Lake Mirror, Polk State College had a number of their teams there assisting as volunteers, and that was all because of Bing Tyus, and what a great
they did a great job, too. I mean, the baseball team was out there high-fiving some of the athletes. They loved that, too.
It was neat, of course, being inducted in the Polk County All-Sports Hall of Fame this past year, but special thanks to Bing Tyus and all of Polk State College for their assistance with the World Shoot opening ceremonies. Again, we'll talk more about it in the local update, but we got our third running event, Running Central, not Sports Central.
Time to switch gears to running now.
Absolutely, but some great events going on in Polk County, and some great charities or some great organizations that are putting money to good use. And now we're going to welcome to the program Sherrie Grimes from the Porch Light Advisory Council to talk about the Shine a Light 5K.
Yes.
That's a lot to say, but great program. Tell us a little bit about it.
The 5K is next weekend. It'll be Friday at 6:30. It's going to be at Lake Hollingsworth, and it will be $30 to register for the 5K. You can do it online at theporchlight.org, or you can do it when you get out there. But I would advise you doing it ahead.
And next Friday being October 24th.
Yes, October 24th. And we will meet at First Presbyterian Church right there on the lake. That's where the run will actually start.
And the run is really part of an even bigger event, an entire weekend, as you shine a light on this big need, not only in our community but all over the country and the world. So talk about the weekend and some of the things surrounding that. I know you have some special guests coming in.
We do. After the 5K, and just a quick word, I got an update. We currently have 333 that are signed up for the 5K, and it well exceeded what we had expected. But after the 5K, that Friday night, Saturday morning, from 10 to 1 is the free festival, family free festival. Everything there is free. And before the festival, there is a kids fun run. Actually, you need to be there at 10 to register if you're going to register there. That is free. There's no charge for that run. Kids from 2 to 11 can register. There'll be rewards.
And Chris and I.
Yeah,
because those are the ones we're running
you guys
in.
could do that because they're actually just running around, I believe, the church. So that's
perfect. That's our wheelhouse.
We can get out of our chairs
for that. Run.
We may even. Do you have prizes for first, second, third? Because we could be in the running for that.
We can push kids down. No, I'm just kidding.
No, we don't want you to do that.
No, we're
kidding.
Well,
whatever you have to do sometimes to win. I'm kidding.
But you can register that morning. You'll want to be there at 10 to
Right.
do the registering. And then your kids can run. A lot of fun.
Cool.
And right after that, actually the festival will start while the run is going on.
Oh,
The
okay.
festival starts at 10. And we have lots of good things at the festival. The community has been wonderful at just giving their stuff free. We have Johnson's Barbecue for barbecue tacos, sweet tea. We have Chick-fil-A offering sweet tea and lemonade. We have Rita's Italian Ice, cotton candy, kettle corn, hot dogs. One of the churches has partnered with us, and they're doing hot dogs for all of the community, and all of this is free.
Very cool.
There's activities for the kids. There's a bounce house. We have Lakeland Fire Department and Auburndale Fire Department competing against each other with dunk tanks to see who can get the most dunks. I think I said bounce house. We have a pumpkin patch for photo op for the parents to have, fall
cool.
pictures with the kids. So we'd love for you to come out. It's a lot of fun. Going to be a lot of fun. And actually, this is the first weekend that we've done this whole weekend. In January, we had a gala, and it went really well. So we just decided, to add this other stuff to it to benefit the Porch Light Ministry, which is to support a safe house for girls who are rescued from sex trafficking. And it is a big, big issue in the state of Florida. Florida ranks number 3 for the hub.
Wow.
For trafficking to occur, mainly because the I-4 corridor, well, actually Polk County, it's right at the I-4 corridor, which is easy access.
Right.
And we've had a couple of big stings too, where 90 and 80 people at different times were arrested. So we just want to make people aware that it's a big issue, and we want to try to help.
And this is a project of the Florida Baptist Children's Home. Now you're raising funds to build an actual safe house. Is that what part of it's
We've
about?
actually finished one.
Okay.
The cost of one home is $700,000 just for one home. It houses 5 to 6 girls. It's a 6 to 9 month program for rehabilitation, and it is a faith-based program. The plan is to get them through that that program for 6 to 9 months, and then put them in a transition home, which we've not started the transition home yet. And we plan to have safe houses throughout the state of Florida. So we've got one in Central Florida now that we're almost ready to take our first girl.
And you're talking about the 5K and generating the funds to help with the cost of this, because it's not necessarily the physical scars that you see, it's the emotional scars that you don't see. So the 6 to 9 month program is to help them work through the things that they've been put through. Is that correct?
Yes, it is. It does. It helps get them, back into a normal life again, or somewhat normal.
So it's a fun event to raise money, but it's a very serious situation that's happening not only here locally, but across the country and around the world. And we certainly appreciate your efforts and the efforts of everyone involved in this, because it's worthwhile.
And obviously we have you on to talk about the 5K, but you really have a full weekend full of events just kicking off with the 5K. That starts it all off on Friday night.
Friday. And the cool thing I wanted to add about the Friday night, we're going to have, at the start of the race, everyone around Lake Hollingsworth turn on their porch lights.
Oh, nice.
And that came from, how a father always leaves the porch light on for his daughter for when she returns home.
Sure.
And that's how the whole porch light program, the name came about, and then thus Shine the Light Weekend. And we also have the gala that Saturday night. That's at 6 o'clock, and that's at Florida Southern College at the Bronscombe Theater. It's black tie optional. There'll be hors d'oeuvres at 6 o'clock. The program actually starts at 7. We have Jason Castro doing our entertainment, which was a former American Idol
fame,
and he is a current recording artist, and he has a heart for those who have been trafficked. So it's a real cause for him, and he said yes right away to do it.
Fantastic.
We also have Grady Judd, who will be speaking there, and of course Dr. Hegg, the president of Florida Baptist Children's Homes. And then we have a survivor who will also be in the program sharing their story of how they were rescued. So
all right.
Full weekend.
Yeah, and it all kicks off on the 24th, correct?
24th at 6:30 is the 5K. Saturday morning at 10 o'clock to 1 is the festival. Kids Fun Run starts at 10:30 Saturday morning, and this is all October 24th and 25th next weekend.
All right down, centered around Lake Hollingsworth, everything in that same area. As far as registering for the 5K, where can people go to do that? What are the costs,
They can
deadlines?
go to theporchlight.org, and I don't have a cutoff date for the registering. I say just go ahead.
Sure.
I think we'll take them as long as we can. So just put in theporchlight.org, and it'll tell you everything you need to know.
And one final question I know before we go to break. You work with Katie Martin at the Children's Home, Fuller Baptist
No,
Children's
actually,
Home?
I'm a volunteer on the advisory council.
I was going to ask how in the world you're able to do that, because we used to have to work with her here, so it's tough.
Well, I know we're a little bit from the meetings, but
I'm sorry.
I actually work for Good. I actually work for Good Shepherd Hospice. I'm a social worker, but I do this in my spare time.
He's doing that for Katie's benefit, so hopefully she's watching going, I can't believe Christian said that, but thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for letting me come on and share about this.
No, thank you.
And one more, the festival, cupcake walk, face painting, kettle corn, barbecue.
It's all free. That's the thing.
Free.
For kids to come down.
Completely free. And if you'll look around town, you'll probably see one of these posters. We have them everywhere.
All right. Well, hang tight. We want to talk to you a little bit more about that, but we're going to go ahead and go to break, and we're going to check out an athlete spotlight of Michael Grimes, a senior swim team captain from Kathleen High School. Check this out. Chris and Neil will be right back here on Sports Central.
Hey, anytime you do a 25, it's on 40. Anytime you do a 50, it's on a minute. Anytime you do a 100, it's on 145. Everybody get it? Got it. All right, go ahead and get behind your lanes and let's get started.
I've always enjoyed swimming. There's a local pool in my neighborhood, and I've always liked to go and just swim, have fun. And so I joined the swim team, and I just fell in love with it. It was a lot of fun. I love to push myself, and it was a great way to do that. It was a great way to test myself. I swim the 200 medley relay, the 100 butterfly, the 50 freestyle, and the 200 free relay. Go! They all require mental discipline of an extreme status, especially the butterfly stroke. Despite how challenging it is, how difficult it is, there's something that feels very natural about it. It's one of the most physically demanding activities I think there is out of all humankind, anybody's ever done. But there's a certain natural feel to it, and there's a certain pride you have being part of the few swimmers who actually can compete in the butterfly.
He puts in the work every day. He works twice as hard as anybody else. I mean, he's always just motivated. He's always pumped. He pushes every single lap.
To be a captain, to be a leader, you have to be a bigger person than that. You have to rally the team up. You have to be more motivated. You have to be a figure that they can look up to.
He creates this sense of team unity and morale. He pushes people. Like if he's hurting, he knows that the guy next to me, they're struggling. So he'll be there on deck just saying, you can do it, one more, two more, which creates a sense of, just camaraderie amongst the swimmers.
If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy. Some of my goals that I have for this year in swimming include drop at least a few more seconds on my 100 fly. It's pretty challenging, but I feel that I can do it, and I feel that if I do accomplish these goals, I'll be very proud of myself in the future years as I look back on my high school career.
Much better, much better.
I am a private pilot. I got my license on May 26, 2014. It took a lot of work, but flying is something I love doing. Outside of swimming, flying is one of the most fun things I can ever do. I've got a great coach, I've got a great team. I'm very proud of what I've been able to do, what I've been able to accomplish. I'm Michael Brown, captain of the Kathleen swim team.
everybody, welcome back to Sports Central. Neil Duncan alongside Chris Caprios in this fourth and final segment brought to us by Contempo Vacation Homes. I want to admit I made a mistake. It happens. It was Michael Brown in that footage, not Michael Grimes. That was our last guest with Sherrie Grimes. So, hey.
They're not related.
It's been a long few weeks for us.
Yeah.
I'm not going to use it as
a few years, really.
But right now, as we speak, the World Shoot that we've talked about, as Chris just said, for 3 years is here in Polk County. A fantastic event. It has us a little tired because it's been a lot of work, but can't say enough about those opening ceremonies that were on October 12th.
Yeah, what an awesome, and really it was to be there. Obviously, we've been heavily involved in it, but even just talking to people that were just there that live in Lakeland, wanted to come see the fireworks, talking to them afterwards, hearing them how much pride they had to be an American, because you have 80 countries walking into Lake Mirror. And then they play the national anthem very last. The American team walks in. It's really cool. As close as I think most of us are ever going to get to an Olympic opening ceremony.
And Chloe Tomlinson.
Oh yeah, that's what everybody's talked about.
Unbelievable. A young student here in Polk County. I believe she's 11.
11 years old.
She sang the national anthem for us at the event, and she brought it and she delivered. And not just the U.S. competitors were talking about it, but different countries were talking about how amazing the national anthem, her rendition of the national anthem was at the opening ceremonies. But we actually have it so you can watch it. Of course, it's been running right here on PGTV. Special thanks to the PGTV crew. Of course, Maya Nelson, the head of the whole PGTV crew in the communications department. They came out, they recorded it so you could see it, but also for all of our international guests.
Yeah, and again, it's just one of those moments, and especially for me, not because I'm so closely related to the event, but just a really cool moment living in Lakeland my whole life to see the Lake Mirror Promenade. There are bleachers set up out there, 2,000 people, all the competitors from around the world were doing the wave and really having a great time.
I don't know how that got started.
Yeah, just to see that right there in downtown Lakeland. Beautiful day. You couldn't have asked for better weather. We dialed that up, but awesome event all around. And like you said, right now, about 30 minutes from us right here, there's about 2,000 athletes competing, finishing up the World Shoot. They'll have their closing ceremony Sunday, and probably a lot of them hang around, do some of our great activities while they're here, and then head back to their countries.
Yeah, if you go to visitcentralflorida.org, click on World Shoot 2014, you can actually see the opening ceremonies embedded in that portion of the website, and you can click on there and actually see the opening ceremonies. And just again, we can't thank PGTV enough for taking care of that for us. And of course the Board of County Commissioners, because without PGTV we couldn't do those kind of things, and without the county's support. But just a great event. The economic impact, we're looking about $5.3 million on the World Shoot just for this event, but that really doesn't cover the whole picture. That doesn't tell the whole story. The fact that we went to Rhodes, Greece in 2011, October of 2011, we won the bid. Since then, since 2012 through 2016, 22 additional events have been scheduled for Universal Shooting Academy because of, basically, we won the Super Bowl, so now we're hosting all the playoffs. So around $22 million in economic impact for Polk County and Central Florida, and we couldn't have done it without the facility. Frank Garcia and Manny and Shannon and the whole crew, but Frank Garcia's vision for Universal Shooting Academy and the dollars that they put into the facility. We now have a world-class facility right here in Polk County for events like the World Shoot, and it's not, it's not using a soccer field, a baseball field, a gymnasium. No. It's a different portion of our portfolio now that we can have.
Yeah, and that's the great thing about it. What a great location that is, and venue. Most people in Polk County probably don't even know about it. So I talk to my friends and family about this event that's going on. They say, where is it at? Frostproof? They have a place down there.
Right.
And we'd encourage people to try to go down there, maybe not during the event, but just to see this facility.
Security's pretty tight. You
see
might
this
get turned
facility.
away.
It's very, very cool, and it's a world-class facility right here in Polk County that the world has come to compete. So it's been great.
Well, and again, I know it seems like we're doing a lot of things, but it takes a lot of things because it really took everyone coming together to get the facility ready, to get all the T's crossed and the I's dotted for the event to happen. And I'm going to try to thank everyone, because if I did that, we'd forget somebody. But the Polk County Board of County Commissioners, through every department, played a role in this. Polk County Sheriff's Department, the Lakeland City of Lakeland and their Parks and Rec and the LPD, and then you just go on and on, Polk County EMS, all these people. The funny thing is, and Chris, you know this, if you don't see them, most of the time you don't see them, and that's because everybody's doing their job. It's when you need them that you need them. Does that make sense? They're out of the spotlight, but they're there making sure that everybody's safe.
It's a good thing we don't see them.
It's a good thing when we don't see them, but they are there. Well, we got some other events going on in Polk County. Let's talk about that. What is the 12 o'clock high event, Chris?
Well, we've had these people on before, the organizers of this event, Frank Tiano, and they're the ones that bring these huge, I don't even want to call them model airplanes because they're really not. I mean, they look like
the size of your car.
Yeah,
cost more than your house.
Huge exactly. They're huge airplanes. They're going to be out flying in this great event. It's a new name for an event that we've had here for quite a while. So we're excited to have it back, and it really is cool just to go out and check these planes out. Go to franktiano.com to find out more when it is, where it is, and how you can get there to check it out.
So that's Wednesday, October 22nd through Friday, October 24th. Shine a Light 5K. We just talked about that. Friday, October 24th. What a great event.
Yeah, and we talked earlier in the show that this is running central today, but the cool part about all these running events that we were talking about, and like we said earlier, there's one every weekend going on. There's a charity running event, but the cool part is the charity part of it. They're all for such great causes. It's a shame you can't run in all of them. Well, I guess we couldn't probably run in any period, but
I run to the refrigerator. That's about it.
A lot of times these are all going on the same weekends, but fortunately the ones we talked about on the show are all different times. So get training and get out there, support these great events. Shine a Light is one of them, and don't forget, it's not just a 5K. Saturday, the kids event. We talked about it. I think I'm going to go out there, and not by myself, but with my kids. All these free things going on.
Don't be
down,
pushing kids down.
down at
that might get some bad
down at
publicity.
First Presbyterian in Lakeland. That's on Saturday, but the Shine a Light 5K is on Friday the 24th.
A lot of events coming up on the 24th and 25th. You got the Florida Orange Blossom Series Fall Open. Of course, that's at Simpson Park.
Table tennis.
Table tennis. Yeah, they are serious and they are very good.
This is like Forrest Gump quality table tennis that we're talking. Even better, but no, they can play. This isn't your recreational in your game room playing around. These guys are good. Guys and gals are good, and you can see them live.
This is an event we've had PGTV out there cover before, and they are really good. Jogging for the Noggin 5K, another run Friday, October 24th at Polk State College. It's hard to believe this is the third annual Jogging for the Noggin.
They have some great names for their events. They really do. But that one, it's going to be next Friday, October 24th at Polk State College, and again, benefits a great cause. And then that same weekend, I don't know what it is. It's like World Shoot ends, and then every other event takes place right after that.
It'll be Christmas before we know it.
Yeah, we talked about JUCO earlier, JUCO baseball. We have another event coming up the 24th through the 26th at Tigertown. Can't pick a better venue for a baseball event. World Amateur Baseball Association is going to have their fall showcase.
Being Tice, again,
yes, Being Tice.
Bringing that economic impact into Polk County. Hope to Survive Zombie 5K. We talked about that. This is one you really want to be involved with, because if you're a human, they let you go first. Then if you're dressed up as a zombie, or they have zombies, they send them 2 minutes later to come after you.
Just don't get caught.
That's motivation to keep going.
That is. That's the best motivation you can have. Don't get caught by zombies.
Don't get caught by zombies. So
then the same weekend, the Florida ISA Classic 4. We always talk about ISA and what a great partner they are, based right here in Polk County. They're going to have another event going on right here in Bartow at 555 Recreation Complex, Saturday, October 25th, Sunday the 26th.
Gulf Coast Cheer Classic, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention this group, not the event, but that's going to be at the Lakeland Center on Sunday, October 26th. The Lakeland Center and their staff is who I want to talk about, because going back to the World Shoot, I don't know if I mentioned him when I was naming off all those people, but Michael Pan and his staff, we could have not put that event on, because you're talking about 5 days of registration with over 80 countries coming in. You're talking about the opening ceremony staging coming at the Lakeland Center, going down down Lakeland into Lake Mirror, and then the closing ceremony. So a special thank you to Mike LePan and his crew. But getting back to the Gulf Coast Cheer Classic, again, October 26th, that's at the Lakeland Center. I think I've heard it said before that if we wanted to, we could have a cheer event almost every single weekend because the sport is so huge, and the Lakeland Center does a great job of bringing those events in and generating more economic impact for Polk County.
Definitely. You talk about economic impact. These competitors in this event, they travel, they bring their whole family, extended family, and it's always great to welcome them to Polk County. Also, coming up Monday, October 27th, to the tees and the greens we go. Dennis L. Fontaine Children's Classic Golf Tournament's going to be going on, a great course at Lone Palm. And this is for Explorations 5. It's their fundraiser that they hold every single year, and it'll take place on Monday, October 27th. You can find out more about that on Exploration 5's website.
Yeah, another golf event, the 2014 FLCMAA, got to get all that out there,
FLCMAA.
Gator Charity Golf Invitational. The Florida Club Manager Association is proud to present the Gator Charity Golf Invitation. This is the 23rd year for this event. The money raised to the tournament goes to All Children's Hospital at the Ronald McDonald House. And I know when my son was 2 years old, he had to have surgery at the All Children's Hospital, and we were over there. We checked that out while we were there, and a great facility. So for more information on that, you can call 863-581-6539 for that golf event.
And also coming up, starting on Halloween, I don't know if they'll be wearing zombie costumes while they're in the boats or not, but the U.S. Hydro Drag World Championships are going to be going on right here in Polk County. Of course, you've seen some of the boat racing events that we've hosted here before, the Orange Cup Regatta, of course. This is along those lines. So October 31st through November 2nd, that'll be taking place. And then also right around that same time, another Florida ISA event. They continue to bring people into our county, and this time it's for the Game Challenge that's going to be taking place, again, right here in Bartow. Brand new, renovated 555 complex right here in Bartow. 600 participants and spectators. So judging by just these events, this isn't all of them. We're going to have a pretty busy October and November here in Polk County, hosting a lot of people.
Well, I know that we're looking at having just come off the best year in the history of Polk County for visitation to the county. Give us some of those things just to remind our citizens, because as these visitors come into Polk County, we want to make sure they have all the information and that they need to get to all the things to see and do in Polk County. Obviously, visit centralflorida.org, but we've got some other things that they can use as tools in that toolkit.
Oh yeah, visit centralflorida.org is the place to go. That's the digital version of everything we produce, but then we have individual guides for everything you can think of: cycling, golf, hiking. We have a trails guide. We have a nature guide with all the county parks in it. So you can find all those things at Outpost 27, of course, right there at the intersection of I-4 and Highway 27. You can get them there. You can call our office, 551-4750, and request those. And we always tell people, you have family, friends coming into town, that's your best resource, is to call us. We'll help you make plans for the friends and family that are coming in. But yeah, you mentioned Visit Florida earlier in the show, a great partner. The state of Florida welcomed almost 100 million visitors last year, 94.5 to be exact, and this year the goal is 100 million. Polk County definitely sees our share of those visitors, and we want to do everything we can to give them a great experience while they're here.
Absolutely. Before we go, we'd like to thank Jeanette Wallace and Marc Zimmerman that were here to talk about the Red Ribbon Half Marathon. We'd also like to thank Dani Horton, who was here to talk about the Hope to Survive Zombie 5K, and Sherrie Grimes was talking about Shine a Light 5K. We've got some sponsors that we want to thank in this show.
Yeah, Bright House Networks, Abuelos, Harry's Old Place, Hampton Inn, Winter Haven, and as we just mentioned, Visit Florida. Just some of the many great partners and sponsors that we have of Sports Central.
We'd like to thank you for watching. We'd like to thank all of our sponsors for their continuous support, as Chris just said. For more information about sports and sporting events in Polk County, go to centralfloridasports.com or give us a call at 863-551-4750. The next edition of Sports Central will be on Friday, October 31st. It'll be a spooky show there.
Oh, right? Are you going to have costumes?
Absolutely, no chance. Let's get Mark Jackson back in the studio.
I can't do it.
Until then, you can catch this program again at the following dates and times. Or if you can't get enough of the television version of Sports Central, tune into the radio version of Sports Central every Thursday from 5 to 6 p.m. on Talk 1430 WLKF.
And who really can get enough? I mean, that's the question. Nobody.
I'm sure there's a lot of people. All right. As we said, our next show is going to be Friday, October 31st. Until then, for Chris Keprios, I'm Neil Duncan. We'll see you again next time.